Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Astrobot, the review. So, Team Asobi that has made Astrobot, obviously with connections with Sony Computer Entertainment. I think personally they have done absolutely fantastic. So without further ado, let's get into the review. Right, so basically in the beginning of Astrobot, as you probably have seen yourselves, if you have got the game, then you will see that you're flying on your PS5 with all the other past PlayStations, and you've got all your Astrobots there with you, and then all of a sudden a big alien will come and basically rips the PlayStation 5 apart, to be quite honest with you, and that's him up there, the one that's totally the absolute villain of it all. But yeah, so he rips everything about from the PlayStation. He gets your CPU, your GPU, your SSD drive, and your memory core unit, and that is your main mission. Your main mission to go through all these different galaxies is to get part of your PS5 back, and only then will you have enough power and enough bots on your side to go forth and take care of the villain once and for all. Now, as we were saying, Team Asobi has done such a great deal with this title, from the music to the storyboarding, to the bots and the special bots that you have got in this game, which you will see are past and present and maybe even a bit of future of the PlayStation icons of the times. And I can tell you one thing, I have enjoyed every single minute of this, but we will cut through different parts as we go along, from the music to the story to the different galaxies to the different planets, etc. So basically what we have got to start off with is we have 6 galaxies, as you can see, and you start off with that one. That is the main one that you start off with, Gorilla Nebula, and as you can see, it's finished anyway. So there is 6 galaxies, 50 planets, 80 levels of complete greatness. So you start off in the first galaxy, Gorilla Nebula, and you work your way through to hopefully get them core units back for your PlayStation 5. And as you're going along your journey doing that, you are saving all the bots in the different planets and the different levels, and as you get different planets unlocked, there'll be extra levels and challenges that will unlock in different core galaxies as well. And as you do get to a certain galaxy, I think it's the second one down there, you will also find that you get the Lost Galaxy. Now, as you get into the Lost Galaxy, you will see there'll be different wormholes in different worlds. Not every world, but different wormholes in certain different worlds. And different wormholes will take you to different planets, and it will give you 2 from each galaxy, as you can see here. More on that in a bit. So, like I said, 6 galaxies, 50 planets, 80 levels of core greatness, which is totally different to Astro's Playroom. So if we just switch over to Astro's Playroom, so, as I said, it's totally different to the Astrobot that we're just reviewing now, because as I told you, 6 galaxies, 50 planets, 80 levels of pure greatness. This one, however, which came preloaded on the PS5, you will see that there's 1 level, but it's split into different sections in each one, in each core. So you've got your memory unit, you've got your SSD, you've got your GPU, and then you've got your cooling fan, okay? And in each one, you've got to go through different ones, getting different bots. Obviously, you get your puzzle pieces, and basically got to do that to then fight the first boss, obviously from the first PS1 era, which is, I think it's the T-Rex. So, like I said, 4 main units with 4 special parts separated, and obviously you get your speedruns as well. So, going back to Astro, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one of my favourite levels from each galaxy. I'd love to show you every single one of them, to be perfectly honest, but I'm going to cut it down to just one. I've got to sort myself. I've got to cut it down to just one, and maybe a bonus one for you. So the first one is the first level from the first galaxy, which is Sky Garden. So if we jump into that one right now. So my favorite level from the first galaxy is Sky Garden. As you can see, it's absolutely phenomenally beautiful. I don't even know if that's a word, but I've made it a word now. It's so good. The music's great. It's got such a vibe. It's all in all a great way to start off your adventure. It gives you basically tutorial basically on what you need to do, what you're looking for, and what your whole adventure is going to be about. Which we've said before, finding your core units back again. So it is really good. You've got loads of bots that you need to collect in here. You've got your puzzle pieces, which is brought from Astro's Playroom, so you still need to find them because they play a huge part. I'm not going to say too much about that because I don't want to spoil too much for you guys, and I love it, and I think you guys will too. If you get a chance, and if you have already, then I'm sure this will be one of your favourites as well. So, moving on, Galaxy 2. So this is one of my favourite levels from Galaxy 2, and it is called Chunk of Funk. Now, as you can tell, the music's quite chill, it's got a really lovely vibe to it, absolutely fantastic. But the main reason why this is one of my favourites is when the whole soundtrack proper kicks in, you will see exactly what I mean. And I'm going to show you basically what I mean right now. And as you can see, the bulb has become a tree. And have you heard the music? It is absolutely fantastic. It goes from a right chill vibe to the tree just having its own little voice. And honestly, it does go on to actually start singing with its own lyrics. And it is absolutely fantastic. So if you do get a chance, you need to really try this one out and spend a bit of time in this level because it is absolutely hysterically funny. And it just gives you a vibe, actually, of GPU back in Astro's Playroom because that had its own vibe and its own music as well. And this is just so good. So good. So this is basically Chunk of Funk from Galaxy 2, one of my favourite titles. So moving on, Galaxy 3. So Galaxy 3, my favourite level from Galaxy 3 is called Free Big Brother. Now, as you can see, you'll probably recognise him from Astrobot Rescue Mission. He has made a comeback. And in this one, you've got to save him, and the music is right chill. It actually sounds to me like the music from Cooling Springs when you're on the beach. And it is so good. I mean, look at the graphics. If you look at the graphics on the sand, it looks like it should look wet. And right drizzly, still got his brolly like he did in the Astro's Playroom one. And it's just absolutely phenomenal. It is really good. And I'm going to give you a quick glimpse of what this level looks like when you have freed him from his shackles. So when you freed him from his shackles, it will go from nighttime to daytime. And it will go into proper Cooling Springs music. And he tells you to come over because he's going to take you basically around his body. Look at the water graphics, guys. The water graphics is fantastic in this game. It is so brilliant. And he'll come over and he'll give you something to climb on. So basically this is Free Big Brother. I'm not going to continue with it because I'm going to let you guys deal with what you want to do with this when you see it because I don't want to spoil too much. It's so good. You want to totally spend a bit of time in this one as well. Spend your time in all of them. They are really good. Moving on to Galaxy 4. So Galaxy 4, one of my favourite ones, is called Bubbling Under. It's basically an underwater level, and it's fantastic. You get a special superpower where you get a penguin on the back of you, where you can thrust forward all the time and go ultra fast. It's so good. I mean, you can still spend some time outside of it, because sometimes you've got to in this one, but it's mainly set underwater. If you listen to the soundtrack, it's such a vibe. It's such a nice, calm vibe. I love this one. I spent a lot of time, honestly. If you go and check my whole live stream out of what I did this game, I spent a hell of a lot of time in this one myself. I didn't want this one to end, to be honest. It was so good. The vibe was amazing. The graphics are fantastic. There's a lot going on. You've got to spend so much time just looking to see everything that is going on before you leave. Once you've freed the shackles of the starfish, don't just leave. Try and find all the bots, all the puzzle pieces, and just spend some time just listening to music, going around the whole section. But honestly, spend a bit of time here because it is so good. Right, Galaxy number 5. So Galaxy number 5, one of my favourite ones, is called Frozen Meal. So here should be the ending of the level, and then it gets sucked away and you don't know where it's gone until you see that. And that's right, the snowman has been took over by the ice power, so you've got to basically save your finish point and save the snowman as well. But whilst all that's going on, you've got a beautiful scenery. It's so good, it's so fantastic. And look at this. And what's this, you say? Well, that is Wumpa Fruit from Crash Bandicoot. So they've even got stuff like that in the game. It is so good. such a vibe. It is such a vibe, and it is fantastic. The music, it's got an extreme sense of insecurity, but also a bit of security in the sense that you always feel like with the way that the music tempo is, you're gonna win. You're just grasping of winning. This is one of my favorites. I mean, look at the graphics of the footprints on the snow. The graphical content of this game is phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. There is no complaint about any of the graphics in this game. And I urge everybody, you have got to try this game. Not just for the levels and the planets, but for the graphical intent, for the icons of PlayStation that you see, all the bots, all the puzzle pieces. If you're into collecting, loads of things to collect, you know, there's absolutely loads. And for a 3D platformer, if you do like 3D platformers like Ratchet & Clank, Jak and Daxter, A Hat in Time, etc., then you are going to absolutely love this. Right, the bonus board. So, let's get to the Lost Galaxy. So, in the Lost Galaxy, like I said, there's so many different planets and levels that you can go to, and you only unlock them by going through the wormholes, finding the secret wormholes in some of the planets in the other galaxies. Like this one is one of the special ones. And this is called Ghouls and Bots. And look at the moon, look at it. I mean, that's a good effect in it all. And it's just so amazing. I call that over there Hogwarts. I don't know why, it just looks like it. That's a bit of a fun fact from me for you. But this level, honestly, this is so cool as well. It is honestly so cool. How it's all done is fantastic. Everything literally looks like how it should have been looked in like a, not a horror so much, but like a creepy aspect. Yeah, I'll tell you what it gives me. It gives me a vibe of one of the old titles from PlayStation 1 called 40 Winks. It gives me that. It gives me a vibe of that. And like the secret stuff that you can do here, look, where you'd get coins, you'd get a bot, etc. The spiders on the wall. There's everything. It's been totally done to perfection, I think. Honestly, perfection. And it's just so good. And one of the main powers in this one is the light bulb. So it gets you to see things that aren't actually there. And it brings them into reality. Like I said, just even if you're just going to try this level just for the sake of the moon, I would, just to see the moon and its glory days like that. I think that's absolutely phenomenal. It's so good what Team Asobi have done. Like I said, I can't say enough for this game. It is so good, honestly. Right, so back to the galaxies. So, as I was saying earlier on, there is a lot packed in with this game, and I'm just going to talk a little bit, not going to spoil it too much, but just to talk a little bit about the PlayStation icons, bots, if you will, and the special powers that you can get from some of them. So, basically there is a level what you can go into that you've probably seen a bit online anyway, and it is from God of War. And you harness the power of Kratos. Not going to say too much about that, but that is what you do with that one. You harness the power of Kratos for that little bit of time that you are in there. You also harness the power in another realm of Nathan Drake. So you harness a bit of his special abilities to get through that part of it. All of these, basically, so that you can harness back your PS5's GPU unit, the fan extractor, the memory core, etc. Each one of these places hone that key part of your PS5 that you need to get to. So that's basically what them parts are basically for. There's Aloy at some point, and the grand gesture of Ape Escape will be making an appearance, guys. So that is just some of the PlayStation icons that you will witness in this game. And we can't talk about Astrobot without talking about his major powers that he gets in this game, which I think is absolutely brilliant as well. You've got your time stopper to stop time to help you on some of the levels. You've got a sponge power where you can absorb water, and the water graphics when you decrease the sponge, like you're screwing the sponge out, is absolutely fantastic. Wait till you see it, it's brilliant. You'll have to see it for yourself. I don't want to spoil it all too much for you, but the sponge power, there's a mouse power where you can shrink, there's fist weapons, you can get an iron suit, octo balloon, rocket powers. There's quite a few powers, honestly. It's so brilliant. You'll have to try them out for yourself, see what you think, and let me know in the comment section what you think as well. Anyway, moving on. Right, soundtrack. So I've spoke a lot recently about the soundtrack of this game. I've even spoke a lot about it whilst I was actually live streaming it as well. But going to go into a bit detail now. So the music soundtrack, as you all know from all the other Astrobot games as well, is by Kenneth C. M. Young. And what a fantastic writer of music that guy is. It makes you believe you are in the world of Astrobot. Each track connects so superbly with each level that you're in, so intricately done to fit in with the vibe of that particular level, and I think it's absolutely fantastic because, like I said, in Astro's Playroom, they did the music for like GPU. The GPU unit had its own song, as you all know. It had its own song, and everybody was talking about that. I was talking about it for a long, long time. It is so catchy. All the soundtracks in PlayStation Playroom are brilliant, and even the VR title, Rescue Bot Mission. And honestly, some of the music they've brought into this one, maybe a bit revamped, maybe with a bit of a remix. So they've brought each one into this one as well as some of their own versions of brand new tracks that Kenneth C.M. Young has made. So in a bonus level called Funky Fungi, that's it, sorry, Funky Fungi, try saying that when you've had a few. It's got the same music from the VR title, Astro Rescue Mission, and you'll know what that is. It's called Tight Mites, and I'm just going to show you a little preview of that. So when you get to a certain point in the level, it doesn't start off with it, but when you get to a certain point in Funky Fungi, you'll get to hear before the mushrooms, and as you can hear, it's Tight Mites playing. And what a soundtrack that is. Everyone will know this one. What a soundtrack. You'll all remember it from the VR version if you have played it. And if you haven't, you'll still know it. Because people don't shut up about this one. This is one of the best ones that people love. And that listen to, I mean, I've listened to Astrobot's soundtrack loads and loads of times. I'm not scared to admit that. I absolutely love it. So yeah, that's one of my favourite soundtracks in this game, is where they bring back the old soundtracks with a bit of a remix back to them. So I hope you've enjoyed the music part of it. Like I said, Lost Galaxy has got its own secret vibe to it, and the actual song is the original secret theme from the Lost Galaxy part that you'd start off with, where you see all the galaxies that you can go into, and you go into the Lost Galaxy, and it adds lyrics to the music that was playing before you went into the galaxies, and it adds like secret lyrics, and literally that is the lyrics, secret, and it just fits so nicely. Honestly, it's so good. Like I said, I love the music in Sky Garden, which is the first level that you go to in this game. I obviously loved, like I said, the chunk of funk music, which it just gives you a nostalgic feel back to the GPU track when you were singing I'm Your GPU. And instead the tree's just singing to itself. The bubbling under one when you're underwater, that vibe is so chill, honestly. I could stay on that level for hours just listening to that music and swimming around. Honestly, it's so good. There is many more soundtracks in this game that I love, but I'm going to let you guys discover them for yourself. Now, last but not least, guys, you've heard me talking about something called the Crash Site, and this is it. It's the hub world. It's where you start, where your PlayStation is broken down, it's got nothing in it, and it looks so sad, and it looks broken beyond repair, to be honest. So this is the main hub where you come back, where you can change the colours of your controllers. You can also buy new costumes. You can go into a place that's called the Safari. I'm not going to go in there to show you because I want you to experience it for yourself. And there's also that part where you can buy gachas, which is taken from Astro's Playroom, which is pretty cool. I haven't even got them all unlocked yet, so that's something for you to think about. Now, I'm going to show you some of my favourite icons that I've found in this. I'm not going to show you too much, but I need to show you some of them. So here we go. So the first one I'm going to show you, my boy Spyro. So he's in here. Don't ask me how he comes into it because I'm not going to spoil it, but he is in this game. And it is fantastic to see him. Sparks isn't here, but Spyro is. He's got a little cameo in the game. Right, on to the next one. So this is a bit of a two-in-one for you. So we've got Crash, and we've got Aku, and we've got Jack, and we've got Baxter. Now, one of the funny things is with Crash, he does the spin. And Aku's like, oh no. And with Jack and Daxter, he does the part where he's trying to resuscitate Jack if Jack dies on the game that you play. Daxter always does that resuscitation thing and gives a bit of a quote as to why you have fallen in battle. Next one. Of course, we couldn't have ended the video without showing you Ratchet and Clank and Rivet from Ratchet & Clank's Rift Apart. So that is basically a lot that I can show you. There's loads more in there, but you will find that out for yourself as you go along in Astrobot. So overall, I've got to honestly give my own personal score of this game a 9 out of 10. And I will tell you why it's not a 10 out of 10 right now. So we'll start off with the pros. Great music. Exceptional levels and galaxies to explore, always something to do with the bots, the puzzle pieces, the gachas in the crash site. Everything is honestly fantastic. The PlayStation icons themselves, from your Resident Evil to your Jack and Daxter to your Spyro, Crash, Nathan Drake, Lara Croft, etc, etc. Really, really good to see all the PlayStation icons in there. And also another pro as well is that it's going to have free DLC. No dates yet on when that is going to drop, but they are going to drop new bots and new worlds as well in this free DLC, so I'm really looking forward to that. Now, the only con that I can think of, unfortunately, is that it's not long enough. I don't personally feel like it's long enough. It always leaves you wanting more Astro. I felt the same when Astro's Playroom finished. I was like, no, want more Astro. And then I finished this one, I was like, no, I feel so sad. Felt so sad that I'd finished the game. I wanted more Astro, but more Astro is coming with free DLC, and I will review the DLC as of when it comes out. So thank you for watching, guys. I've been LSM Gaming. You have been awesome. Don't forget and kiss your man from me, and leave a like and a cheeky subscribe if you are new here to become part of the YouTube fam, and I will see you in the streams. Take care, look after yourselves.
PlayStation